Hi, my name is Wenda O'Neill from Oneillartworks, and today I'm going to step you through how to make one of the shadow boxes in our adult craft kit series. First, I want you to know that each craft kit is made to order. That means that I made that craft kit for you. And inside the box, you'll find the precision cut cardstock for the shadow box that's been purchased. In this case, it's the Stag Mystic Stag. You'll also have lights and double-sided adhesive foam. To get started, let's take all of your pieces out of the box and clear the work area. To make the shadow boxes, we're going to start from the bottom up. You're gonna love how easy this is. I mean, I have a very short attention span, and if I can do this, then anybody can do this. It's super duper easy. Let's make sure that our lights work. So pull out the safety tab and turn the switch on. They work. And now I'm going to unravel the lights. I'm going to fast forward through this because you don't need to watch the struggle. Sometimes the struggle is real. Okay. Now with the lights all taken care of and straightened out, let's take a look at the sheet of double-sided adhesive foam. What that means is that it's sticky on both sides. What I like to do to prepare to make the shadow box is to reveal one of the sticky sides. I peel off the covering, the protective covering, and that reveals one side, which is sticky, but still leaves it attached to the sheet. This is going to make it easier to just grab what you need when you need it. And we will be working in groups of 4 because each layer is going to need 4 adhesive strips to separate the in between the layers. Okay, are you ready to get started? Just bend back gently and peel off one adhesive strip and place that on the bottommost layer of your shadow box. So what I've done is I have removed all of the layers. They were shipped to you in order, and I have taken just the last 2 layers to work with right now. And I'm placing the adhesive strips on the edge of the very last layer, pretty close, but not too close. I mean, it's not an exact science. Don't worry if it's not quite. You can see I'm not really worried that it's not quite straight. I have a little bends. I am trying to get close to the edge. Now, looking at the next layer that goes on, I'm looking at the area where I'm going to try not to have wires show. I want the light to be behind that area, but I don't want to see the wires. So starting at the bottom so that the switch is at the bottom of my shadow box, I'm going to gently bring the lights up to the top, making sure that the light parts are inside the bounds of the shadow box, and using the adhesive foam to kind of help me keep my wires in place. Now, I saw that there were stars, so I'm just going to kind of add a little extra wire. But you'll see in the end that maybe that wasn't a good idea because I sort of ran out of wire. I could have gone all the way around one more time at the end, but because I did this little squiggly detour, I kind of ran out of wire. I still like the results, but maybe I would choose differently next time. Now, notice how when I put the next layer down that the wire is going to show in the moon. I'm going to have to fix that. At the angle that I was filming this, I didn't see it until I put the paper down. So I'm going to first stick it down, but you're going to see that it is going to reoccur because when I shift the wire for the next layer, it comes back up again. But then I'll just stick it down with a long tool. Anything. You can use a screwdriver, you can use a pen, to just get it out of sight because I like to not see the wires. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting the double-sided adhesive foam on the edge of the next layer. you're gonna notice that this happens a lot because basically this is what we're gonna do until we're done. The double-sided adhesive foam strips. Then we're going to measure where the wire should and should not be seen. We're going to lay the lights across, and then we're going to place the next layer up. See, that came back up again. Let me get my tool. I'm just going to push that down really far, hold it with my finger to try and get it to stay there. Oh, perfect. And now I'm going to take the next layer and just put that on top, gently pressing it into the adhesive foam strips that I've already placed down. Now, guess what? The next layer of double-sided adhesive foam strips. So, I'm going to speed this up because for the next 5 layers, all we're going to do is put down double-sided adhesive foam strips, measure to make sure that the lights aren't going to show in the next layer, then put the layer down, right? The adhesive foam strips, measure to make sure the lights are not going to show up in the wires aren't going to show in the next layer, and then put the layer down. Watch. Remember I told you that I shouldn't have dilly-dallied around the moon and used those extra lights? Well, you'll see why in 1 minute, because now I'm really at the end of my lights. I have one more layer to go, and what I thought I would do was try to go all the way around to sort of give an overall backlit view, sort of a backlit vibe. But I found I could only go halfway around. Still looks great. Still love the way that it turned out. But I think if I had just gone straight across from the beginning, I would have had enough lights to go fully around this layer of trees. And I just want to note and just bring this forward. This is the last layer of lights. So if you run out of lights anytime before that, you're fine. You just are looking for a way to backlight and create a kind of ambiance for your shadow box. Having that depth, having those different layers backlit is exactly what you're looking for. Okay, only 2 more layers to go. The stag, which I've cut out of a copper colored metallic cardstock for you. And once we get that down, then we're going to put the double-sided adhesive foam on the stag, on the edges, and then we will put the last layer on. Once you have the 4 adhesive foam strips on the stag layer, we're going to set that aside and take out the final layer. And what I'm doing is I'm just folding the perfs. I'm bending them in the opposite direction of the way that I want them. You'll notice that your cover may be different than mine. And that's because I use a sort of a modeled cardstock, so everyone is different, but they all have those earthy kind of natural hues, and they go with the copper that I cut the stag out of. So you may receive something that looks more like wood, more like stone, but it will be gorgeous and so much fun to assemble. So now that I've bent it, it's much easier to see and line it up with the stag below. And you'll notice it's nice and sturdy cardstock, so even if it gets stuck a little bit and you want to reposition, you can just pick it up, and when you've got it where you want it, just gently push it down into the adhesive foam strips that you put down. And for the final touch, to complete the process, we're just going to close up the, and I'm using air quotes here, box that we're creating with cardstock. I am putting the double-sided adhesive foam strips on the outside flap, once I've flipped it over, on the outside flap of the Shadowbox outer layer. And then you are going to be so amazed at how easy this is to finish. You simply fold up and over and press down on that last layer pretty firmly to make sure that it's nice and stuck there. And you'll see that we're creating a box. Yep, that's right. You're done. You did it. You created a shadow box. Now flip it over, turn on the fairy lights. Oh my gosh, it is so cool looking. And now turn off the lights. That is gorgeous.